Mhm.
All
Yep.
right.
Yes.
Let me get my act together. Okay. So congratulations. Some of you are repeat officers, and which hopefully we don't do that as much as possible, but a lot of times the treasurer and secretary, especially, hopefully you rotate through your presidents, get repeat officers. I feel like I've been a treasurer for life. So, but some of those are not as important to have, it's important to have somebody as a backup um, to train that's going on, but it's not necessarily as important as I think the president is to make sure you get different people in there. So I'm not going to read all these slides. You guys are capable of reading, but you know, you've been elected by your club, so they hopefully because you're a leader and not because no one else will do it, but that happens a lot. Um, there we are. So by the end of the session, here's our goals today. We're going to talk about some Lions history. We're going to talk about briefly about the international structure or structure of Lions clubs. We're going to do a standard club leadership structure. Again, that's not necessarily uh, your club. We'll talk about your club your way a little bit. Your club does not have to necessarily meet that. Some duties and responsibilities for the main officers, uh, club constitution of bylaws, meaningful projects. I think that's one of the most important things in Lion, but we'll talk about that. And what defines a good meeting? You know, meetings are not the only thing. The projects are really important, but you want to have meetings. You don't want people to get bored and say, oh, it's no fun at all. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Lions portal and the Lions Learning Center and actually a few other things in that area of the online stuff. So, does anybody know Lions Club International mission statement? Here we go. Our mission is to empower Lions Clubs, volunteers, and partners to improve health and well-being, strengthen communities, and support those in need through humanitarian services and grants that impact lives globally and encourage peace and international understanding. A bit of a mouthful, but about a vision statement. To be the global leader in community and humanitarian service. Isn't that great?
Yes.
And of course, we know everybody should know our motto. Come on.
We serve.
There we go.
Sure.
Um, Lions has the global causes. They were originally 4. Now we're up to 8, I think. I hope I got that right from memory.
Yep.
They're just again, they're guidelines. These are recommended causes, but your clubs doesn't have to do any of them or can do all of them. Again, the choice is how your club operates. A lot of clubs focus locally, which is great. Most clubs are local. That's just fine. Childhood cancer, diabetes, disaster relief, environment, humanitarian causes, hunger, and vision. Now, I just saw something. There's a lot of groups on Facebook and on the internet, and somebody says, they don't have hearing up there. Why not? And I don't know. You kind of have to ask your international people why it's not vision and hearing or things like that. Because anymore, that's a big part of our vision program is hearing. And of course, youth. Okay, jumping. I'm going to go through this stuff fairly quickly because I want to have some time for discussion of things. Hopefully, you have all heard of Mission Point 5 now.
1.5.
I'm going to make sure I got everybody that's attending checked off. that came a little later. Anyway, mission 1.5. What the 1.5 means is that we want to get back up to 1.5 million members, or actually I think we peaked at 1.4. Get up to 1.5 million members by July 1 of 27. Why do we need to do that? I mean, we need Lions to support our projects, to do the work of supporting our communities, right? Ways to do that, of course, are invite members to your club, keep your club healthy, charter new clubs. Because in some cases, my club is a typical Lions club. We have a few younger people I would say younger in the 40s that are active, but most of us are pretty gray like me. And when you drag somebody into your club and to a bunch of old men and even old women, they look at it and go, why would I want to be here? So starting a new club sometimes is a good alternative for younger people to get a younger club started. Just a thought. And of course, to spread our mission. Anybody had anything to say on 1.5? Okay, history, fun stuff. When was Lions Club founded?
1917.
1917.
Gary should know that one. By a guy named Melvin Jones, right? Everybody has heard of Melvin Jones? If you haven't, you need to do some research, because he's the guy that founded it. He was an insurance agent in Chicago, and he was in all these he was in these business clubs, but the business clubs all focused on business. And he says, I want to do something to help people, and formed Lions Club. That's my short, quick version of it. First international club, Windsor, Canada.
Oh.
Anybody aware that Windsor, Canada is actually south of Detroit?
No.
Yeah.
Slightly south of Detroit.
A little bit of trivia to you for that. First club in Montana, Billings Lions, 1921.
Wow.
So they're our oldest club. And
Hey, here, Mike, something interesting is if you follow the railroad lines, you'll see the dates of club when they were started. Like Cheyenne is our first one, like 1919, and then Laramie just follows the Union Pacific because Lions hired people to ride the railroad to start clubs. So if you
right.
look on the railroad line, that's an interesting fact.
And that's how they started most of their early clubs in Montana. Is they hired people that went around and started Lions Club. Anyway, 1925 convention. Anybody know where that was? No history buffs here. I believe it was Dallas, but I don't quote me 100%. That's what Helen Keller challenged Lions to be Knights of the Blind. There's a recreation of her speech on YouTube. It's actually really cool. Okay, 1968, LCIF was formed, the Lions Club International Foundation. That's our charitable branch.
Wow.
And of course, this is I know we got a bunch of Wyoming people here, but so you're getting some Montana Lions history, because
That's all right.
87. We have the Montana Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation was formed in Montana in 1987. So, right, that as of when I updated this slideshow 2 days ago, 49,890 clubs and 1.37 million members. So we're actually gaining a little bit. The Mission 1.5 is working for the first time since Montana District 37 was originally a multiple district with Canada. Since we split off from them, was it 10 years ago now, Karina?
It was a little over 10 years ago because I have always been part of the single district.
So anyway, Montana had lost members every year. For the first time in that 10 years, we actually gained a member last year, I believe, net. So hopefully we're turning a corner. And our international president, AP Singh from India. Okay, so Lions Clubs in general is a really flat organization in terms of structure. And I always do this as a club is at the top of it. And the things that the districts and the international are below it because their support for us, the clubs are the most important. You can do a branch club, which is a extension of a club, but it's its own separate club other than it's not really its own. It's kind of an odd deal when it comes to the paperwork stuff. So you can start a branch club with 5 members or more. Zones typically 3 to 8. So usually that's regions or another level above that. In Montana, we do have 4 regions. It just enables, since we have such a big area in Montana, for easier management. It hasn't proved that successful in Montana, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, a district needs, they won't take your district away, but they'll put you in what do they call that? I'm blanking on it. You want to have 1,250 active members. So right now, District 37, again, this was as of a few days ago, we have 57 clubs and 1,511 members. Both Montana and you guys in Wyoming were single districts, but you can be part of a multiple district. We were part of a multiple district that went up into Canada. It's just another separation. Like I said, we're what's called single districts. And there's one of those phrases, MDs. We're in a constitutional area, which is basically divvied up by countries for the most part. United States, Constitutional Area 1. Canada, what is Constitutional Area? I forget. Anyway.
It's 2.
It's 2, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the structure of Lions Club International. This one's, you may not be able to see it, and
Isn't it?
It's reversed, easy to read it, but there's all the levels. And now I'm going to do standard club structure. So this is the recommended but not mandatory thing. So you usually have a board of directors. Some really small clubs don't. It just makes it, as everybody knows, and they've dealt with a cabinet, for example, with a lot of people. It's really hard to make decisions and get input with a large group of people. So you have a board of directors to make the key decisions, the key budgetary stuff and things like that versus the whole club deciding things. Again, your standard officers, a medium past president. So you can have a secret vice. Lots of clubs don't. Secretary, treasurer. You notice they have a marketing chairperson at that level. I think it's important. And then they have what's called the Global Action Team, GAT, president, first vice president, who is technically the leadership chairperson, membership chair, and service chair. I think those are, even with smaller clubs, it's important to designate someone as a service chair and a membership chair. Just so you've got someone for that year or couple years to be in charge of that. So somebody's thinking about it. What kind of service are we doing? What kind of new service projects should we do? How do we get new members? Do we have a membership goal? We'll talk about that later. Anyway, there's other committees that you can use if you're a big club, especially. a lot of uh, clubs that are bigger and have a lot of service projects split up they have a chair for the fair, a chair for the um, firewood committee, everything like that. So that's one way to do things. Again, it really depends on the side. So officers, president is the boss, presides the meetings, board of directors, and clubs. Vice president, it serves as the leadership chairperson. In other words, you got somebody thinking about who's going to be our next president. We need a new secretary. Who do we want to do that? And anytime the president is not there to lead the meeting, the vice president would step up. Good old secretary. I think the I think the secretary is the hardest position myself. Got to take.
I agree.
Got to take minutes. You may be sending out the agenda. In some cases, the president does that. You update all of your club information online. We'll talk about that a little later. Treasurer, of course, person is responsible for the money, paying the bills, financial reports. Again, our schedule is tomorrow night is at 7 is president's training. Wednesday night is secretary training, and Thursday night is treasurer. Immediate past president, just mostly there to help. Membership chair, obviously trying to find members, trying to keep members happy, trying to service chair. Really good to have somebody thinking about what you're doing besides just your usual service projects. Service is so important. Okay. Online, I don't know how many of you have been to the LCI website and looked at the resources there. It's amazing. So there are what are called ebooks for each position. They have a lot of electronic links. All right, that you guys see that website? Okay.
Yes, and I actually
Yes.
have been on there for the secretary stuff.
Yeah. So again, this is what's called the Member Resource Center, but this is managing a club. I will send you guys an email with a bunch of links afterwards. But for example, constitution bylaws we're going to talk about, that club structure was right there. There's things like plan for your club's success. Is troubleshooting guide is really cool if you're having issues with some things. Or good old mission 1.5. So here's your club officer. It takes you to another page for club secretary. And there is the resources. Here's a club officer guide, which is now, I think that's the ebook now, actually. But there's an amazing amount of stuff here. Okay. And that's that link I took you. There's other club resources. Constitution and bylaws. So how many of you guys are aware or knows your club has a constitution of bylaws?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the starting point. The standard club constitution of bylaws all include all these links and stuff. The thing about the standard. Oh, I don't have it ready. The way the standard constitution of bylaws works is in it there are things that are mandated by Lions Club International or Lions International now that your club needs to do. Some of them are things like how do you manage your funds? and we'll talk about that briefly, but how do you do your elections? Some of those things are mandated and in the Constitution and bylaws. Excuse me.
Hey, Mike, can I add to this?
Mm-hmm.
How important it is? When I was a district governor, LCI Legal called me and there was a complaint against a club that had no women. And the complaint was no women is being invited. But because they redid their constitution and it says the same thing as LCI constitution about you have to be invited, nominated,
Yeah.
they were cleared. But if they didn't have that constitution, just having that constitution saved them. Then another situation happened is club was electing officers, and one of the people called me and it was all mad because the vice president that was nominated did not live in that area, lived 100 miles away. And he says, how can they be elected? I said, do you have a constitution? They said no. So I had to refer back to the LCI constitution. And now all the qualifications is a lion in good standing. And that means they paid their dues.
Yeah.
So he was upset. I said, but you write your constitution.
So
So it's very important.
they've got the mandatory things, and the way I was going to, you know, the thing about the Constitution and bylaws is you can add stuff to it. You still have to follow the rules primarily, but for example, the Sunriser, make it through this. The Sunriser Lions Club here in Kalispell, their focus is children. So they have written in their constitutional bylaws that all their programs, all their service stuff that they do is based on children. And that's allowed. You can do things like that in your constitutional bylaws. What you can't do is there's things, things in here you can't modify. Here's all the membership types and everything else. But your club can customize it to fit your club. Anyway. So here's just some ideas. I picked up these things from a variety of training places. One, of course, is the Lions Learning Center, and the other I'll talk about briefly, which is a great resource, is the Lions University. Is a great training, and I'll send you all these links. Service projects, absolutely. There are clubs that collect money and hand out money. They're not the most effective clubs because they're not doing something where, in certain cases, handing out money to people is certainly rewarding, but it's not nearly as rewarding as doing an eye screening or having someone and doing somebody's glasses or hearing aids and later have them come up and say, man, you changed my life. So that's why service projects are so important for memberships. You're always trying to keep your club as a net growth. Get in more members than you lose. You're always going to lose some, and minimize losing them. Communicates effectively with members and public. Things like Facebook, Instagram, newspaper.
Radio station.
Absolutely. If you got a radio stations, you betcha. Club events. And besides, I'm talking about things like a Christmas party or, some kind of get together. A lot of clubs have gotten away from those kind of things. Does your club participate in zone and district leadership training? Well, you're all participating in a district leadership training tonight, so good on you. Club is in good standing. Good standing basically means your club's paid their dues and you're doing your regular reporting. these are a whole bunch of resources. Again, that when you dig in that website, there are just some amazing ways. And some of these are older, but they're still there. Uh, Blueprint for a Stronger Club, the Club Quality Initiative, Your Club, Your Way. Again, Lions International has a lot of recommendations and a lot of things like that, but most of them, you know, if your club wants to do something else and it's charitable and things like that, that's great. There, I just repeated that. Giving money is a great thing, but not a project.
Right.
Because you want to do projects that help your community, but you want to do projects that help your members. Give them something that's rewarding for them to do. To your clubs. A community needs assessment. I'm not going to show you. I got a link to it. It's a way. Let's say your club is looking for something to do, but for your community, but you don't know for sure what you want to do. It's a mechanism to go out to the leaders of your community, the mayor, the city council, whoever you want to go to and say, what does our community need? What can our Lions Club do for our community? And it's a way to find out instead of your club deciding we need to retrofit the playground. Well, maybe that nobody in the community thinks that's a good of idea. So you get better support if you're doing something the community wants. So the community seeds assessment is a tool that will let you do that. Okay. I'm going to ask everybody, or most of you here, our club meets twice a month now. We used to meet every week. How often are most clubs meeting?
Twice.
We meet once a month.
Twice a month, Haber.
Yeah.
Twice a
we-
month.
We meet once a month unless we've got a project going on, and then we'll meet as often as we need to.
Okay. Our club has always done, we meet twice a month and we've always had speakers for the most part. Makes a
What
little
we've done, we have 2 meetings, and one meeting is business, and our second meeting is social, where we have a speaker. So it's not always business, it's more of a social meeting.
all right.
So in Ennis, we have a board meeting once a month, and our meetings start with a half hour of fellowship, which means that we get snacks and visit. And then we have twice a month regular meetings with the fellowship at the front end of that.
Okay,
Excellent.
that's good.
And one other thing to mention is our meetings, both board meetings and regular meetings, are hybrid meetings. So we always have the OWL camera on and a Zoom link available. If anyone's not able to join us in person, they can be on that Zoom meeting.
That's great.
Yep.
You always got somebody sitting in the back that's really quiet. You make sure you try to pull them out and involve them and get them to be involved in the projects and things. So, name tags. The old days, a lot of clubs had those buttons, and I had a big box of buttons, and you went in and put on your button and left it there. I'm going back in history, but again,
I think Haver still has that, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Yep. And also Hamilton is that still.
As a
anyway,
matter of fact, you're fined if you don't have it.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You get fined. Their method of fining is aggressive. How's that?
Yes, yeah, very.
Their collection item is aggressive. When Chris says he has the buttons, he said in the chat.
So
And now,
we got makeup name tags and everybody has one, and it's a finable offense if you don't show up to meeting with it. But
Mhm.
community service, I can't say that more. And of course, have some fun. Make sure you get some fun stuff. Don't just do the okay, treasurer report, okay, secretary minutes, okay, um, rifle raffle committee report, vision report. Okay, does anything happen? Yeah, okay. No, you know,
now we do name tags and t-shirts.
oh, great.
Oh, good job.
So have fun. Tail twister, that's their primary thing is not just finding people, it's maybe introduce a little fun. Okay, now we're getting into this stuff. So Lions Portal has it's been a long transition for those of you that have been around for a while, but I really think it's an improvement over the past systems. It's they're finally getting it refined. It's all working pretty well. Um, the secretary and any Lion can have an account on the Lions Portal
Mhm.
as long as you
And
put
it,
as long as you put your email address in when you signed up.
Yep.
You can log into the Lions Portal. It's not there. It's limited where you can go, but it's not limited to getting on there. And there's stuff that is available to everybody. Some of the reporting insights are available to everyone. Um, anyway, the secretary uses it for reporting. Club
bless
members,
you.
club activities, fundraisers and projects. Shopping, you can buy stuff. You can buy vests. You can buy all kinds of signs and bells and you name it. Insights is basically we'll take a look at some of these things. Insights um, is basically a graphical display of all kinds of things, membership, activities. Um, it's pretty intense and training, and then the learning center. So, for example, the learning center has tracks for each officer, and like I said, my presentation has taken a fair amount from that. Um, so you can go in for as a president, and you can take there's a overall class like this, and then there's a specific president's class. Um, this this thing is set up on the learning center, so I track everybody who's here, and so it credits you with attending these seminars. Um, anyway, so that's the learning center side. So let's go here. So bear with me. I use a password manager, so because I can't remember passwords.
Too many passwords sometimes.
Okay. So if you have not been on here before, then you click don't have an account. Name, first name, last name, and the email that Lions has for you. This may not be right. So you can have your secretary
Mhm.
or administrator. There's two people that can do that, or your president actually. Update the email that you sign up. There's a process to go through. So this is the Lions portal. Here's where I got the numbers for for international. It's got this little dashboard of various total donations, um, total people served. Where does it get this number? Total people served, total activities. Your
From your service reports.
secretary should be entering your service and fundraising projects in this system. And that's where it gets those numbers. It's really important because Lions International works with a lot of large outside organizations. For example, they worked with the Gates Foundation for measles. And they show the Gates Foundation here's what we do. Here's how many people we serve around the world. And so they can get those large organizations to work with Lions. Anyway, there are a bunch of training videos online. Our district has its own. These will go into the training videos actually. So you can start with your membership has your information. You can go to your club. And again, you as a member, without any being present or anything else, can actually view some of this stuff. So here's basically the information about my club. We meet at Bella Italia, second and fourth Tuesdays at noon. Here's the address, things like that. You can look at it. Here's the members. So here's the members. Now this thing is kind of bizarre because and now it is defaulting. It defaults to active members, but it will show you past members too. And you can split it up by whether they're family members, life members, et cetera, et cetera. Now, to get to your district, you notice they've got this for users that are district people especially. You got this district thing you can go to, but it's kind of weird because it's got information about who's the officers and things like that are, but it doesn't have any reports. So if you're looking for reports, you got to kind of get there a different way. You can do two ways of getting there. You can do a search. So if you wanted to, and some of these are limited to what you can see by what your role is.
Yeah.
So then I can go to District 37. I don't know why they did it this way, and so just in case you ended up being a deficit zone chair or a district officer, there's reports. Yay! So it's got all kinds of reports on district membership, district, everything you want to know about your district. Going back, your club has that, right? Your reports on your club, since this is club level. So view reports. So I can go view reports about my club. And there's all kinds of membership reports, membership information. So if you want to print that out, especially as a secretary, take it to your club and have everybody correct the information on it, so they've got their correct addresses and phone numbers. There's a club roster. So these are the reports available depending on your club. For those that are, the nice thing is it's got a data export now. So if you wanted to put together, for example, a club membership book, you could export it out and put it into Excel, or you wanted to do something like that. As a treasurer, there's the statements. Lions International is not sending out paper statements anymore. Everything's
and neither is Montana.
Yeah. So everything's done electronically. That's why it's really important, especially as a secretary, to try to get people to give you their email addresses. Lions does not sell emails. Their system is secure. I know some people are very picky about that, but you elect somebody new as a treasurer and they don't have an email in here, you're not, the statements are going to go to the president. Anyway, the things I really wanted to show you here, like I said, the service is where the so this is my club again. Our secretary is pretty good about entering information as we go. So you can enter, we've got, these are fundraisers, service project. We ring the bell for Salvation Army. Your club meetings can go in as meetings. We do with several other clubs in the area, we do vision screening. So you should be reporting that kind of stuff. But the cool thing now is that any lion, so let's say you got a committee that does vision screenings and you have a head of that committee. That person that's the head of the committee can go and enter the service activity. It basically asks, because I'm several types, it's going to ask me who I'm entering it for. And again, we'll get into the details of this kind of stuff, but name of the service activity, just basically fill this little thing, fill these out. The thing about that is that if some non-secretary or administrator is entering it, it needs a final approval by the secretary or administrator before it's actually listed. But if you're a big club and you have other people, they can enter this stuff and then the secretary can just go in and approve that activity. Anyway, Learning Center. So it's my available training. So these are the trainings we're doing right now, the local trainings. But I'm going to go to the online stuff.
Sorry.
So club president training.
Half.
I was in process because I've been looking at this, but so the learning path for
It's
that
supposed
is
to be an hour and a half. Yeah, started at 7.
yeah. So the club office, this is the equivalent of what we're doing.
Your answer was perplexing. I don't know when it started, and you're giving me a time instead of just saying yes.
And so this is the club president part of it.
Yes.
And they have this service journey now related to them. That's really good stuff. And then this reports insights.
I have another one tomorrow night. Yeah, Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday. I won't do this.
So anyway, it starts out at the international level, and then you can drill down to your district or your club. It's a bit of a pain to do some of the stuff, but
Yeah, all you have to do is click on like membership.
Yeah.
And then put in your district number.
yeah,
Yep.
they kind of bury single districts a little bit, but
Not too bad though. If you put in 37, Mike, it'll
Yeah.
just bring up the 5 or 6 things that have 37.
Just go down that and put 37.
Just type
you can type it.
37 at the bottom there.
yeah.
Then just click
There you
on
go.
30.
And just click on
Yeah.
37. There you go.
There's your information.
So there's our membership by month for our district.
And we only lost 2 so far. And this is January. That's a good sign, Karina.
And no, I liked it better in like September,
well,
October.
Yeah, but
it's always
usually
gonna
in January, you have a big drop because clubs
I
are
know,
dropping
it just
members.
bums me out though. Yep, we got to get back on it.
Yep.
Well, Ennis is inducting 7 new members next month, so that's good.
That's good.
So again, this is, and it keeps, now that I've had 37 here, if I go to service activities, it's giving us District 37.
Mhm.
Uh, things, so you can see donations. These are donations to LCIF, basically.
Well, you guys are in good shape.
Yeah, we've got some great coordinators in our district. So this is nice. It's just a graphical way to do, to look at, oop, I lost my,
Oh, Gary or Mike,
what's that?
I've been always baffled, and this is kind of going back a little bit on that membership report.
Uh-huh.
I do not understand. It says we have a net growth of -2 members, which is a bummer. But if you look at the chart, the math isn't mathing.
Well, probably not.
So, it's worse than that if you look at the chart. So I've never been able to get a real answer to that.
Well, and I think that's partly because it's just on which was more current.
I don't know.
I don't know that you'd have to ask
Yeah.
somebody from LCI.
Okay.
Also, you're comparing this year to last year.
So,
Right.
That's why you have 2 lines.
I mean, the
Right,
total membership
but-
right
right.
now matches 1508. I
Yeah,
don't.
we've got 1508 and 1508. But if you look at the numbers on the chart, it's 1516 to
16 from
1508,
last
which
year.
is the math we learned in Ennis. That'd be 8 members.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I like the
Anyway,
I like the report on the right. Let's go with that one.
and of course, this is the store.
Hmm.
This is where you can buy your vests, your shirts, your whatever you want to buy.
Earrings.
I went in to buy a 100-year patch for our club. There's a $5 patch, but the $17 shipping. So I
Yeah,
haven't bought the patch yet.
the shipping is
Oh.
kind of shipping, they get you.
The next time you have you're going to the Lion Forum, they can. I was able to pre-order some things and get it.
Okay, I'll
there.
pre-order it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've always looked for one when I'm at the forum,
Mhm.
and they're out 100-year. So
Yeah,
So there's
I was
a
able.
there's a new thing that I've learned about it, which is really cool. It's called Lions Virtual.
oh yeah,
So this is put together. Hold on.
Mhm.
This was put together by not International itself, but some of the people that are computer literate at International, because they didn't think things were happening quite enough fast enough. But some of these things, it's AI driven. Especially these 4, the Lions market to grow, for example. Now it's a little rough in some places. It's going to take you. See, sometimes it's going to take you to Chat GTP, which is an AI, and sometimes it takes you to that instead of. Okay, this is where it's supposed to take you. So, there's the teach me how to use you. Turn service reports into marketing materials. Create a marketing plan for your social media. Oh, so
the neat thing here on this, you can type in community survey,
yeah.
and most community has it. It'll show up, and there's your There's a lot of information that the needs and the wants and all that for your community.
So, for example, this is a social marketing content plan. Why do you need one? Why are we posting? Goals on social media. Facebook should be doing 3 or 4 posts a week. Best for community stories, event recaps, and calls to action. Instagram, um, Instagram and Facebook are kind of tied together, but it's just a slightly different audience. LinkedIn. I don't know if any of you are very aware. LinkedIn is kind of the professional version of Facebook.
It's a good one.
So it's a total different audience. And then, of course, Twitter and TikTok. If you got some young people that want to do some kind of stuff, the audiences are all different. Facebook typically is now more older market. Young kids don't use it nearly as much. They use TikTok. Because LinkedIn, like I said, is a professional market. Instagram's a little younger age, but still. Anyway, this just gives them. It's an amazing.
The thing to remember with AI is it's really important that it's a good start, but you're still smarter than AI. So be
Yes.
sure to read it and edit it to be what you really want, because it comes up with what it thinks, but it might not quite fit.
Yeah.
So still use your brain.
Yeah, and you can type down here at the bottom pretty much anything you want, but these built-in ones are pretty slick. We want to grow some clubs around here. So it's asking me, where do I want to grow a club?
Rebuild.
All right. Okay. Or you wanted to start a new club or rebuild the existing club? So this is a tailored AI experience for these topics and things. So here's all kinds of stuff about Kalispell. So this is just really a really slick little thing that they've done. Like I said, it's AI based, so it's not, you can't take everything, but it's a really good starting point. See, I need to go back and do my design to training through this and see what it has to say. But if you're doing local club training on something, teach me how to be a lion. Let's see what that has to say.
That's true.
So, yeah, it's a really cool little tool because it's already narrowed down from just an AI interface. Anyway, check that out. It's called Lions Virtual. I'll send links again to everything. There's a whole bunch of other stuff here. This is a really cool website. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that because I became aware of it with our leadership training in Bozeman, and I thought that was pretty slick. Just some thoughts we've discussed. Should our club have a board of directors? Again, size is more important, is as important as anything. You got 30 members that come to your meeting. I wish. it's pretty hard to make a decision with 20 or 30 people. Whereas with 6 or something, it's a lot easier to make decisions. Should your club have a budget?
Yes, sir.
I'm a treasurer.
That's correct.
You're absolutely, in my opinion, you absolutely should have a budget. Gives you ideas of planning for the next year. How much money are we going to take in? How much are we going to spend? Who are we going to give money to? I think it's a great idea myself. Should we meet once a month, once every 2 weeks? You guys, if you've got what everything you're doing, a good membership plan. Most clubs don't. A membership plan is number one, a goal. We want to increase, and again, it doesn't have to be big. We want to increase our membership by 2 members net. Means we get 2 more members that we're going to lose this year. How are we going to do that? We just hope they walk in the door. So it's good to sit down and have a membership plan. What do we want to do? Have a goal. How are we going to accomplish that goal? Are we going to market? Are we going to do Facebook? Are we going to advertise? Are we going to have everybody go out and one of the ways membership has been increased is have people make a list of people they know that aren't Lions. Everybody brings in 1 or 2 names. Does our club hold a new member orientation? Again, most clubs don't do this, and I'm working on it. I just didn't get it done when I was planned on. A PowerPoint that for the new members, but you have to do something on your own because it's some of the introduction stuff we've done. What is international? What is a district? What are all some of these crazy abbreviations? DGs and PDGs and IPs and uh, you know PIPs and we got a zillion of them. So you really should have an orientation for your members. Who's Melvin Jones? What is LCIF? Those are the kind of things your club members really should be know. And then you can do a club quality. So one of the things they got available is that you can hand out a thing to your club and find out what your club thinks of your club. Are we doing worthwhile projects? Are we serving the community? Or are meetings boring? Or you can, to have them see if they'll do a survey and find out what's going on. And again, improving club quality, that's a club quality initiative. So here's the webpage. Again, this is the resource center. When I click that link, it's, your club, your way, plan for your club success, club quality initiative. Are you guys aware of a club excellence award?
No.
So you can, sometimes your zone chair can apply for these, but it gets applied to your district governor. There's some criteria to it. Number one, you got to have a net growth. Number two, you got to do service projects, but you can get a club excellence award for your club. Anyway, I'll send you links directly to some of these are hard to find from the main page. But this is new and it really works. The search never worked great here. Because
my hint on searching is if you need to search and you have no clue where it is, go to Google and do the search rather than searching from within the Lions site.
Yeah.
Which seems counterintuitive, but it does work.
Because you're hopefully aware that Lions has liability insurance for your club. It's not a huge policy, but I think they're what, $1 million now?
Yeah, 100 million.
And you can
100
get,
million.
so let's say you do something at your fair. Our fair here requires us to have a certificate of insurance. You don't have to go buy an insurance policy. And that's how I found that. I just you can search for a certificate, but go to this, found it there. There's the online. I tell what I want. Proof of insurance. A lot of them have, like our fair requires the add them as an additional insured. So I choose that one.
Mhm.
I put in, fill out name, event dates, phone number, district club, certificate holder name. A lot of times that's, you put in the insured sometimes or your club. And then it pops up a printable certificate of insurance that you would take to these type of events that require it.
Mike, on the insurance, I heard that if you're doing a big event, send us your certificate, email that to LCI Legal, so they're aware that you're doing a big event in case you need to contact them again. So like your fair thing, a lot of people
Mhm.
send
Well,
LCI
and it
legal.
and it depends on the event type. Some things
Yeah,
they
yeah,
won't cover. Alcohol, they will
no,
absolutely not. So if you're involved in something,
Mm-mm.
you'll have to go get your own liability
Yep.
policy to cover that. And Lions International can help you. They can direct you, or you can just go through your own. There's a club here in outside of Billings, and I can't think of the name. They do a demolition derby. The international policy wouldn't cover that. So anyway, and the other way now is they've got AI in it. So you can go to the Lions AI. It's called Ellie, and you can ask a question to try to find stuff on the site. Remember where you type in, but anyway, it's got its own little AI, and it actually works better than the search for things. I don't remember where you can type in. Anyway. Okay. So I just wanted to, we're basically done with the slideshow. What I wanted to do is, since we've got a bunch of different people here from a different clubs, get rid of this. Is just ask you guys a little bit about your clubs. What are some of the things? What are some of your favorite projects? Anybody?
We do a craft fair the first Saturday after Thanksgiving every year. We've been doing that for 20 some years. We also have a Miss Merry Christmas scholarship. We have girls come in, do an application, and then they are awarded a $500 gift certificate. Scholarship to college. This is with high school senior girls.
Oh, okay.
And then she shows up at our holiday bazaar, and it is the first Saturday of after Thanksgiving every year. We have it out at the big rendezvous center, and then we also have Miss Merry Christmas in the parade with Santa, with our little banner there, and she does a Christmas parade every year as well.
Great. Anybody else?
Here in Pine Bluffs, we do a Grandpa's White Cane. We have a blind member. So the White Cane book is out there. It's called Grandpa's White Cane. I know the gentleman, but we take in, we talk, and it's to third graders. So we take about 45 minutes. She presents about being blind. She has her cane. She has her dog. She presents herself. Kids ask questions. And then she gives each kid a chance. She teaches them how to guide a blind person. But she lets them use the cane, and then she lets them use their dog.
Mhm.
And then while the kids are out there one at a time, I'm reading the book Grandpa's White Cane. So one teacher last year said that's all her kids could talk about for a week. So you know you're doing PR to parents because the kids are going home talking about lions. So that's really
Great.
been fun. So there's five third grade classes in our school district. So
Wow.
it's really fun.
We do flags for first graders, but
So does Howard.
and I love it. But the issue we're hitting is that we're having more trouble getting into schools to actually do a presentation. They're they're getting hesitant to let outsiders come in, which I don't blame them. It's but anybody else having any struggles with that or?
Yeah, they've been cutting back on Haver about getting in too. So we make a base. We have a meeting where we make the bases for the flags and have them stamped with or burned in Haver Lions, and but then we just take them, see how many they need, and the teachers take care of it for us.
We're ended up doing that more and more. I really miss it. Those kids are great, but anyway,
Mhm.
anybody else?
Well, here in Winnett, we only have 13 members. I'm pretty proud of everything that the Lions do here. We do vision screening in 2, 3, 4 counties, and we put flower baskets on Main Street in town, and we've been putting out benches. That's just a few of the things that we do. The school has an all-school reunion every 5 years, and we usually serve free breakfast they have a race, a marathon race, either walking or running, either one. And we usually serve breakfast to the contestants. We're just pretty busy, and we do a side-by-side raffle every year to raise funds. And I'm just proud of everything that we accomplished with just 13 members.
And we just started an author festival. So this year we had 25 authors come in for the day. We set them up in the old high school gym, and they're there all day. People come in and look at their books, get them signed. During that time, we have 50-50 raffles. We give books away, just all kinds of stuff. But authors are presenting themselves, and we have all genres. So it's been a very first weekend of December. So we have a town of 1,000 people, and we bring in 25 authors
Wow.
from around our area, published authors.
Zach, you got a hand up.
I do have my hand up. Thank you. I apologize that I haven't been able to participate more. I'm still working. Um,
Can't hear you, Zach.
I think we lost him.
Probably our second largest fundraiser. Our number one fundraiser is the county fair, where we do a pancake breakfast. And our third largest is our 4th of July pancake breakfast. And this really does bring out a lot of people. And even though we have a small club, it's been working really well. Where I'm trying to get my club to move towards is working simultaneously with the Chamber of Commerce right now. because the Chamber of Commerce is understaffed, overworked. They don't have enough resources. And what I've been doing is working with our chamber to help alleviate the pressure of extra hands. And in return, and then in return, we get to like do some fundraising ourselves at those events. So we very may well be on the verge of taking over the chili cook-off, the $1 Million Music Fest, the Old West Days Brew Fest. Well, there could be a number of different events where we can be helpful. But if I need 4 volunteers, I have it. No problem. I have plenty of volunteers. But with the 4th of July, the biggest issue that we have with the 4th of July, because I was just going over our budget again, is that any volunteer members that show up from a different organization, not Lions Club members, we have agreed that we will donate money to the charity of their choice because of the time that they've given us to actually help with the event. So I had not noticed that was pretty significant for the 4th of July, because even our Lions members who are also Elks are writing down Elks so that Elks get the donation. And I need to find more Lions volunteers and Lions members to show up and help, so that we aren't that we're keeping the money that we earn and making sure that it's going towards Lions projects.
And I have to give a shout out to Jackson Lions Club. Being the LCIF coordinator for Wyoming, I was invited. We gave out 9 Melvin Jones and Progressive
Wow.
in one night.
Wow.
And also on that night, we also installed 3 new members. So that was quite a trip. Thanks for having me, Zach.
Where are
I'm
you?
happy to have you.
Where are you from, Zach?
Originally, I'm from Denver. That's the wild part, is that I grew up in a family that doesn't do stuff like this. We don't participate, we don't show up, we don't donate, we vote, and that's it.
So
And that was our civic duty, was to vote, and that's all. But I saw the value of what the Elks, the Lions, and Rotary and Shriners and all of these great organizations do for the community, and I wanted to get involved. The moment I got out here to Jackson, I saw the value of it.
It was Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So if you really want to look at a good thing, Hyattville Ten Sleep. They do a Pony Express ride from Hyattville to Ten Sleep every July 4th. You can buy mail from them at $5 an envelope, because that was the original cost. And last year, I think they had over 500 pieces of mail. And they get sworn in, the writers get sworn in by the postmaster, and it's a big fun thing. So
yeah,
it's not far away from Billings, Wyoming, or other places. So go down and partake. It's fun.
all right. Anybody else? And then we're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
Mike, you did a great job. Thank you. Hey, I have a thing
Yes.
called 6 Steps in 60 Minutes. I'll send that to you so you can send it out. It's just a step by membership growth. I'll send that to you so you can send it out.
Okay.
And some tidbit information on LCIF. Anybody know where the first emergency grant was given and when? Marina, you should know this one.
Rapid
Go
City,
ahead.
South Dakota. Right?
1972,
1971.
Rapid City flood.
Mm-hmm.
First emergency grant. Anne-Marie.
I actually was living in Rapid City at the time of the flood.
Yeah,
So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
that was my college summer job that year. So, and we worked 12-hour days, 7 days a week for a month and a half, cleaning up the city of Rapid City.
Wow.
All right. Just a reminder, if you haven't signed up, tomorrow night we do presidents, and our teacher. You don't have to have me again. So our teacher is Mike Tobin from
Sunburst.
Past district governor Mike Tobin. He's great. And then Wednesday, secretary, and it's Peggy Tobin, and she is really great. does a fabulous job, and they dig way into the portal and reporting and all that kind of good stuff. And then Thursday, you have to get me again for treasurer. But so if you're not signed up, go ahead and sign up for those. And
So how do we sign up for like the Wednesday one?
so in the email you got, if you did, or in the newsletter, there's links to sign up for those.
Okay.
And Zach, I'll send you all that stuff from that District 37 sent me, so you'll have the whole thing. Anne Marie, I think I sent that to Amy. You have
Yep, and I
that?
got it, and I'm already registered for Wednesday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Zach, you're on my list.
And then just a reminder, the District 37 convention, it is now, registration is now open. It is in Columbia Falls on, I gotta look at my calendar because I can never remember.
April 17th and 18th, but
we
there
go.
might be a little something on the 16th. Yeah, so
We were
17th and 18th is the core of it.
And we're also doing club officer training in person. It's kind of a repeat of this, but it is in person, so you do get to meet the other lions and everything else. So, and like I said, the registration is on montanalions.org website. Sign up early and often. Anyway,
So Corinna, Wyoming's is the next weekend in Sheridan, Wyoming.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
and
watch for that.
And we have Ski coming, so you know who Ski is.
Yes,
And
we had him last year.
Our theme is
Yep.
Lions on Deck, USA 250, because we're going to be 250 years. So we have baseball jerseys made for it and all kinds of stuff.
Fun.
And we wrote out the Major League Baseball teams, and they're sending us stuff to give out.
Wonderful. That's a great idea.
all right. Like I said, I will sending out emails with a bunch of links. When Gary will send me his stuff, and I'll send you links to a lot of that stuff we talked about. And thank you for taking your time to join us tonight. I appreciate it very much.
Well,
Thank you for doing all this, Mike. We appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Everyone have a great evening.
All
Thank
right,
you, everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.